Macmillan Audio presents The Sword and the Dagger by Robert Cochran. Read for you by Jef Holbrook. Part 1. Tripoli, A.D. 1220. 1. "What kind of an ass sends a lock of his own hair as a gift?" said Princess Elaine. It was not a rhetorical question, though Bernard, regent of Tripoli, seemed to think it was as he and Elaine strolled through the royal garden of the castle. Bernard pretended to be distracted by the lovely flowers that lined the path, sparkling with the dew of a bright spring morning. Dozens of species were present, but only two hues, blue and white, the heraldic colors of the Kingdom of Tripoli. But Elaine wasn't to be put off. "Bernard, you shouldn't speak that way of your betrothed," he said finally. "But doesn't it seem vain?" "I'm sure he meant well," Bernard said. Elaine looked at him for a long moment, and Bernard couldn't prevent the corners of his mouth from twitching upward in a reluctant smile. "It's a little vain, perhaps," he conceded, "but well-intended." He smoothed his thin mustache with his thumb and forefinger, wiping the smile from his face. "The garden is looking quite beautiful, don't you think?" Elaine nodded absently. The garden was indeed beautiful and bustling with activity. Page boys and maids were hanging lanterns and pennants from fruit trees, while gardeners clipped and trimmed juniper bushes into dragons, unicorns, and other fantastic shapes that defied description. Servants pushed barrows piled high with freshly picked vegetables, headed for the kitchen, and filling the air with the mingled scents of radishes, leeks, and garlic. Whenever anyone caught sight of Elaine, they gave her a wide smile, usually accompanied by an annoying twinkle in their eyes, as if they knew how happy she must be. She smiled back, trying to seem genuine. Meanwhile, she pressed on. "As I remember, Conrad always was a little vain." "That's not fair," said Bernard. "You haven't seen him for 6 years. He was just a boy. Suppose he judged you as a prospective bride based on his memories of you as a 10-year-old. I suppose I should give him the benefit of the doubt, at least until I see him again." "Oh, Bernard!" A high-pitched voice sounded from behind them. Bernard turned, thankful for the interruption. It was his wife, Margaret. Always high-strung, and now particularly anxious, her thin fingers waving nervously like leaves in the light breeze. "I'm worried about the sweetmeats. I mean, will there be enough?" "Surely the cook has seen to that," Bernard said patiently. "Well, I don't know," said Margaret vaguely. I just... "Would you like me to look into it?" "Yes, if you don't mind." "Of course." Margaret nodded her appreciation, then turned to Elaine. "I'm so happy for you. This will be the most magnificent wedding since... "Thank you, Margaret," Elaine said. "And thank you for all the trouble you've gone to." "Trouble? What trouble? You're the princess, after all." Elaine watched as Margaret fluttered away. She didn't exactly dislike Margaret, but it was impossible to relax when she was around. And though Margaret had tried to be a mother figure to Elaine, she'd never been able to hide the fact that she found the task rather burdensome. Margaret's happiness over the wedding was no doubt sincere, for it meant that Elaine would soon be out of her hair. Elaine looked down at the locket she held in her hand. It was made of silver, and its design was simple and elegant, with a small clasp that opened easily. If it had contained something besides tangled strands of Prince Conrad's light brown hair, she would have admired it. She had an impulse to turn the locket over and let the hair fall to the ground, but that was impossible, certainly with Bernard watching. She was obliged to keep the gift intact, and even...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?